What's up, lads?
What's up? How you doing?
Good. My name's Bradley Mulvey. I am the founder of First Strike Soccer, which is a coaching company focused on individual development of players. So everything from technical, tactical, mental, physical, spiritual, if you want to go there. And it's something that I started 6 years ago because I felt that America, I'm from Scotland, I felt like America needed an avenue where players could, have someone who they feel is really in it for them. And it's a place where players can go, and even if it's not about football, we can talk about them. We can talk about their mental state. We can talk about where they're at in their life, in their school. And it's something that I'm really passionate about and I love. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. Yeah, as a parent, thank you
of course
for offering that
of course.
Providing that. I'm a soccer dad. I am a working professional, but I live and breathe soccer. So I play it still, crazily enough. I've got two kids, one 10, one 12, both in soccer. And we're just trying to navigate this crazy world and help support our kids and what their goals are. And it's been a fun journey. Looking forward to having the conversation with you guys.
Yeah. I'm Ronnie Garcia. I'm 15 years old, and I play for Total Football Academy. And I play the 10, and what made me fall in love with the game is probably my brother. Seeing him grow up, playing the game, having fun, made me really fall in love with the game. And I knew I wanted to do that for the rest of my life.
You're a baller.
Thank you.
You're a great player.
Good to meet you guys.
Good to meet you guys. I would say the game has given me everything in my life. It's taught me about human relations. It's taught me about leadership. It's taught me about team environments. I think when I first started playing, the game was an offload or a release valve for my life. I think that, growing up as a kid, that there's certain things that go on in environments with my parents, and I always knew that I could touch the ball. I always knew that I could go mess around with the ball, hit the ball off a wall, listen to some music, and that would always kind of release whatever was going on. And that's how it started off. And for me, it was like, it was an escape. Truthfully, it was just an escape. And then from that, then you start to understand the game. Then you start to understand the teams, and you start to understand like the layers of it, the layers of formations and all these little details that helped me understand and make sense of the world in a weird way, right? Like going through the struggles, going through, maybe not playing, being on the bench and having to still be a good teammate while the worst thing is happening because you want to play. And so, it started off as the release valve, it started off as an escape, and then it started to turn into, I can take all of my lessons from this thing. And then nowadays it's, how can I teach those lessons that I've learned from the game that I learned, which is insane. Now to be able to give back in that way, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't work in soccer, but I would have loved to have done that. Either as a player or maybe as a career. Still time. Still time. But I do remember, so for me, soccer is, I try to play still, but it's also some core memories of me growing up. And so I was just thinking about one of my first core memories is just kicking around actually in Nigeria, because I realized I didn't play organized football in Nigeria, but I did kick around the ball with my dad. And I remember some of those nights sort of after work, just kicking and enjoying those relationships and that kind of thing. And then after moving back to the US, that's when I started playing organized soccer, and that was all fine. You played at the recreational level and the competitive level as it was then. But I also have what I think a really individual experience with soccer. And you mentioned just kind of going out in the backyard and kicking against the wall. I was downstairs in my basement kicking it against my mom's house wall, and I have no idea how she tolerated that, but I spent so many hours down there just like kicking it, and listening to music. And kind of that was sort of an escape from maybe the different frustrations of being a teenager and that kind of thing. And it's just been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. At the time, we never thought about soccer as a pathway. We just played it, and we were competitive. We played at a club and that kind of thing. But I really had no conception of what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go in soccer. So I got as good as I got under those circumstances, and it was really fun. So it's really interesting kind of way.
Which is kind of like a very pure, organic.
That is how I remember it. Yeah. Just, I love the sport, love playing, love competing, and no real goals. Never thought I want to play in college, so, that kind of thing. And then was lucky, and we never watched soccer, because it was the US. We didn't have cable, we didn't have a lot of money. And so I actually never watched an international soccer game until my coach decided to give me or bring me with him when he watched the 194 World Cup. So my first game that I ever watched was, I think it was Nigeria-Greece. The second game I ever watched was Nigeria-Argentina live. So I got to see Maradona in the second game that I ever watched. So it's really kind of interesting back then.
That's cool. That's really cool.
What made me fall in love with the game, like I said, like going to my brother's games on the weekend, seeing the passion that he had when he would score. I knew I wanted to do that. My dad would take me to parks just to kick around the ball. And when I'll see the TV, like the pros playing, I loved it, you know? Like I said to myself, I want to do that. I want to be there. And still to this day, like that's the dream, you know? Like I'm working hard just to be on a pro level.
Love that, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the thing that sticks out for you? Like, is there a core memory where it's like,
Core memory is probably going to one of my brother's tournaments, San Diego, with my dad. Like it was great. I remember it was Man City Cup. My brother won it, and it was it was a core memory for me, my dad, and my brother. Cause yeah, it was just my brother winning, and everybody's emotions. The emotions like were high, and it was a very exciting like moment.
nice one.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one actually, because this is something. The reason I remember this is because it was a product of work as well. So it was an attachment of something that I was working on that then came to fruition in a game. And that was a really interesting like combination of the two. So I used to work on free kicks a lot, and my uncle and my dad who trained, they would train me back then. So I guess they're like the beginning of first strike, but they would train me, and my dad would always say like, you have to be able to use your left foot. Like you have to be able to use your left foot at the highest level. So then we'd work on the left non-stop, hours and hours. I'm talking 4 or 5 hours a day for 6-7 months, right? And I remember one game, I don't know why, my uncle was like, wear 2 pairs of socks. It's like good luck. I don't know. It's good luck. Scottish gypsy bro there. It's old school. Yeah, it was really wet actually. It was really wet and muddy. So he thought like the 2 pairs of socks would maybe keep my feet a little warmer. And I remember in that game, I scored a free kick with my right foot, and I scored a free kick with my left foot in the same game. And I think I was like 12 or something. And that always stands out because it was the socks, right? So that relationship there with like the luck and all this stuff. I remember I was wearing 2 pairs of socks until I was like 15. And I was like, this is the worst thing ever. Why am I doing this? But because they started getting like the shoes started getting thinner and whatever. But yeah, that was the core memory. Is like, okay, I scored a free kick with my right, scored a free kick with my left. And it was almost the connection of the work. Like, oh my God, if I put in time here, like a lot of time, and you know, going through all those problems of like, you miss kicking it and it's just not working or whatever it is. But at some point, it will come. Like, it will pay off. And ever since then, it's that core is just kind of stuck. And that's how I kind of approach everything in a weird way. So yeah, that's the core. Yeah.
It's impressive. Taking free kicks, same game, left and right.
Yeah. In college, really I used to take corners left and right. Okay. And my college coach thought I was left-footed for 3 years. That's great. But it was from that core, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably very different from you guys. A little more old school, but also not a skill player. So when I grew up, you know, we weren't doing technical training, things like that. No one was really telling me, you know, you had to use your left foot, that sort of thing. I think it was okay. I was a center back, so my game was all about speed and kind of just physicality or strength. I can't, from those early days, I don't really remember, you know, any particular, you know, amazing skill breakthroughs or anything like that. But what I developed was the love and confidence to know when I play center back, and we always used to play like a diamond in the back, you know, right, stopper, sweeper type thing. So I was like, I'm the sweeper. So I'm like, I had so much confidence. If anyone breaks through, I'm 100% going to chase them down, angle them out, and take the ball cleanly. And everyone's going to cheer my name and be so happy that I saved the whole team. And I would just repeat that over and over and over in whatever competitions we were doing. So when I was really young, that was the skill. And then the other piece where the first time I realized I could develop new skills was actually after college. And I'd become like a decent player, probably like a Division II, you know, D2 level player. And I didn't play in college. I took a break. After college, I went to UCLA, and I would just spend hours when I was single, no kids, kicking the ball against there's a curved wall that's like right at the track there. And I'd just hit it with my left foot all the time. And that's the first time my left foot that I remember, I can strike a ball really, really well. So actually, strangely enough, when I stopped playing competitively as a kid, I actually became a much better player as an adult, which is not a normal pathway.
That's cool. Imagine you done it earlier. Imagine.
I know.
Yeah,
That would have been amazing.
if it wasn't after college, maybe it would be different. Yeah.
Core memory for me is probably my first goal with my right foot. I remember I was at LA Surf, and it was my coach's last game there because he was moving to Texas, and it was the worst goal ever, but I was so happy that I scored it. They crossed it in the box, and I just tapped it with my right foot. I was so happy I scored. And then when I came out, I was like, Dad, did you see I scored with my right foot? And he was like, yeah. And I was just so happy about it that I scored with my weak foot. So that's probably a core memory.
Are you working on your right foot?
Yeah, I'm still working on it. It's still bad, but I'm working on it. You know?
It's 4 to 5
coach in me
hours a
had to
day.
ask. I was like,
4 to 5 hours a day.